What's up, CYNS, and welcome back to another Epic vs. Epic video. Now, if you guys have by chance missed out on the previous episodes, or you're curious or forgot about the previous matchups, whatever the case may be, I will have a link to the entire playlist in the description as well as in a card in the top right corner to help make those a little more accessible and easier to find. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into today's matchups, as both epics of today are completely different from their base variants. Now, it's been a while since we've done one of these videos, so a quick refresher on how all of this works. So essentially, we take two weapon variants and compare them in multiplayer. I have been considering a zombies version, so if you want to see all that, please let me know. But as of now, we take two variants and judge them on 4 basic points in multiplayer, which are uniqueness, usability, efficiency, and of course just overall fun when playing with these variants, which I believe are 4 basic points that all epics should deliver or bring to the table if they're going to be worth the 4,000 salvage. So kicking this off, we have the R3K, which up until this recent update was the only burst firing AR in the game. Each burst, as you guys already know, applies extreme stopping power at precise intervals, and since this gun has some pretty strong potential to kill enemies in 1 to 2 bursts, you never really have to deal or worry about a pissed off alerted enemy at close to medium range. Fun fact, this was actually the first weapon in the beta that I accidentally got a ruthless with, and it just seems like since the beta this weapon has never really failed. It's never really been nerfed, at least not until my knowledge, and it just has always seemed like a solid all-round weapon. So what happens when you enter the prayers of those who don't like burst weapons and apply the R3K's damage and low recoil on a fully automatic gun? You're given the R3KT or wrecked, which is exactly what this weapon does. With even less recoil than the low recoil it had before and the chance to fire fully automatic, this weapon makes anybody a threat in medium to long range, especially in objective based game modes. So what variant is even slightly decent enough to take on this weapon that has its own job in its name? How about a weapon that's so heavily inspired by the AK-47 it's laughable that Infinity Ward still went with the space setting? We have the Volk, which deploys the best in class stopping power at a low dependable fire rate, and with that slick AK-47 design, I don't know about you guys, but for me it's just hard not to smile when you're mowing down enemies with its basic iron sights. Now, since Infinite Warfare's release, the Volk has seen quite a few nerfs as well as some subsequent buffs, but regardless of its rocky start, it's still a solid weapon that can even be considered as a poor man's wrecked since the weapons are pretty similar. So, reduce the Volk's fully automatic capabilities to a single shot with the spike trait, which also nearly doubles its damage output, and you're given the Goliath, a semi-automatic monster that kills in a consistent 3 to 4 shots in medium to long range engagements, and 1 to 2 shots up close. Of course, these weapons always depend on how accurate you are and exactly where you hit them. Now that you've been introduced into the two behemoths, which weapon is actually worth the 4,000 salvage if you had to make a choice between the two? Well, considering uniqueness, which is very important for an epic, I mean, if you're dropping 4,000 salvage, it better be something different unlike anything else, right? The wrecked is badass, and I do very much love playing with it. It just isn't special and one of a kind. Earlier I called the Volk the poor man's wrecked, and that's because they are almost exactly the same. It just seems like the wrecked is the Volk's type 2 as it improves on the basic Volk with a more consistent rate of fire and low recoil, of course making it more accurate. The Goliath, on the other hand, is the only AR that is not only semi-automatic, but is the only AR that has a base damage of 82 without any attachments. However, usability is, if anything, where the Goliath lacks. If you aren't that accurate, of course, or can't play tactically in a way that plays off the Goliath's strengths, and you can't refrain the urge of rushing, this may be a huge downside, especially since you can't spam the trigger as there is a firing delay after each shot. This is more where the wrecked shines, as missing a shot with the base R3K and having to panic fire with an alerted enemy was a huge weight off your shoulders with the wrecked's fully automatic capabilities. And they're both very efficient as well. The Goliath is anywhere from 1 to 4 shots, of course, depending on how close you are to your target and where exactly your shots land, while the wreck takes about anywhere from 4 to 6 shots. Even though it's fully auto and very consistent, I still have to side with the Goliath here, since with the Goliath, even if you were hit first, as long as you're quick and accurate enough to get those 2 shots off, you will always win the firefight. Fun is always subjective. This is just how much you enjoy having this weapon in your hand and trying to get the kill. Any weapon that is semi just seems to always be rewarding, and the Goliath is no exception. I like playing with the Volk, and like I said earlier, the wrecked is just an improved version of it. So when it boils down to it, which variant is more worthy of the hefty salvage price tag? It's a 50-50 in all honesty. It's a bit of a tough call to make. The Goliath takes efficiency with its consistent 2-shot kill, Uniqueness, as it's the only semi-AR. The Wrecked, however, takes fun and usability, as I always have a blast playing with this weapon. And when my aim is similar to that of Stevie Wonder's, I would often put the Goliath away and resort to the Wrecked to save my KD, or, you know, just basically save my ass. This matchup relies a bit more on playstyle and personal preference, as not everyone enjoys burst weapons, let alone semi-shots, and some would take efficiency over fun, as easy kills means a shit ton of fun to some. Me personally, I would take efficiency, which translates to me siding with the Goliath, but this one is a bit more of an open-ended discussion than an outright, hey, this variant is better than this one type episode. And likewise, I would like to know what you guys think, especially if you guys have one, or if not both variants. I mean, that makes it better. And let me know what you guys think of them and which one you would prefer and why. As I honestly would love to hear you guys' personal thoughts and opinions and just overall point of view on this. Because this was a little bit of a tough call to make because I genuinely do love the Wrecked. And the Goliath is extremely rewarding when you get the fucking kills. So let me know what you guys think on both variants, which ones you prefer and why. But like always guys, that's about it for this video. My name is Cynic. Thank you all so much for watching and stopping by, as I really do appreciate it. Hopefully this helped you guys out and brings you guys in for a little open discussion with me. And yeah, I hope to see you all soon, and I'll see you guys in the next video.